in the probe. And so we paid for it, but we don't use it. And it's quite helpful. Yeah, it can be quite helpful.
Okay, I'll check with R&D, but I'm pretty sure it's like in the AquaMaster. 99%.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thomas, Christian, sorry, I started to record.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just thinking about these questions might appear in his head as well.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for the information, by the way, what we learned in the last 10 minutes. So it's good to know that calibration is possible without disassembling. I'm curious about the more technical details afterwards, also about the cable connection and how it's done by the digital data in the Seacon and so on. But yeah, I guess that would, how do you call it, let explode the frame in Germany. Yeah, so thank you for recording.
Any other questions? If you have questions afterwards, don't hesitate to contact one of our team, like Jorge, Martin, or myself, or the customer support, or Florian if it's due to sales. So you can call us later if you want.
So I have maybe a... Oh, sorry, Christian.
Yeah, I should turn the camera on before like holding the hand. If it's possible, then we should have some pictures also of the application in general. Speaking about the chain, for sure everybody should know how to hang up a chain with a certain weight on. But if we do have application pictures from any tests or so on, I guess that would help just to show how it's really installed. And also, yeah, some examples as we do have as we collected by other or for other products in the last weeks and months. This is quite helpful for people who do not have a demo unit with them to show to the customers, but just to show the application.
So I will tell, we're gonna deliver to Lux at the end of April. And I will tell Urs maybe to take a couple of pictures just when he installs it, because I have in the presentation, so you see the groundwater catchment is Lux, and this is where they're going to install it. But obviously the AquaGuard is not in there. And the test we did back in the day in Stanz, you don't really see it very well. I mean, I have a picture, but the groundwater catchment in Stanz is quite deep. And I'm not the best photographer. That's maybe the other problem. So that picture is not really something you will see the AquaGuard hanging well. But for sure, we're going to try to take pictures now as we sell a couple of devices here in Switzerland, so we can provide it to you. That's for sure. But I'll let them know.
Thank you.
I have maybe 3 things. I mean, the first one, obviously, and I think Ralph, you already did that. If you have more questions also regarding, let's say, the commercial side and why this product and how this application is done, maybe give René a call, because he's willing to share his enthusiasm for it, for sure, and explain to you how he sells it and give you maybe more insight. I think, Ralph, you can maybe say something. You already talked to him, as far as I know.
Yes, well, I just would like to answer a question. Why is René not in this circle of people today?
I don't know.
Well, I really would appreciate his enthusiasm about it, and he gave me some, because I never ever had such a request in Germany for such a product, but he gave me some possible benefits for the customers, which would make it easier for me to convince people or to tell them why this is a good idea. And I got it because I gave him a phone call and asked him. But this group of people here at the moment would be a perfect auditorium for him to bring his spirit, to a sales force. Maybe he had no time. Maybe. I think this would be the best explanation.
I'm not so sure actually what was the scope of invitations. I guess he was also invited. I don't know why he's not here.
Need to check. Yeah, but it's a point for sure.
Because in the end, we need some reasons why to do this, maybe I know that there are applications in Germany for these things. I know it, and there are companies who sell similar products for a very, very long time. But usually these probes are much smaller, not so precise, cheaper, and just good enough for these applications. We now try to do something similar on a higher quality level, on a higher price level, and we have to tell the customers why. The best argument from René was, okay, if you install the instruments in the pipe, you will get only a reading when the pump is running. Okay, but the pump is not running all the time. So the pump starts at 2 o'clock at night, and immediately it will give an alarm for turbidity to the Brunnenmeister, and he has to go there. If the instrument is already in the well, you will get a continuous information about the situation before the pump starts. And you can avoid start of a pump with a high turbidity or high conductivity or high whatever. And this is something which is really a clever idea. I got it from René. To tell them, okay, yeah, there is a pump, there is a pipe, no problem. But the pump starts late at night because electricity is cheap at night, and douche, you have got an alarm in your bedroom. And these are things you can avoid, for example. So this would be a possible approach to convince the customer to spend a little bit more money for something like this to keep him happy and to avoid alarms.
Yes, and maybe even in the example of Lux, what they do in that groundwater catchment, they pump that water is pumped twice a week into the water supply of Lux. So, but they need to continuously make sure that the water quality is fine, because if they pump twice a week and there's an event in between and the water quality is bad, then obviously the water supply is contaminated. So in that case, what he offered initially was an AquaMaster with an additional pump, which he had to offer also to pump the water up from the groundwater catchment to the master. So that's an additional cost, let's say, for the customer, plus the running cost of using the pump, and then the water is discarded. It's not pumped back into the catchment. So those were aspects why the customer in Lux specifically was like, yes, this is a cool solution, because I put this down into my catchment, I measure continuously, I don't waste water, and I don't waste energy. I mean, the power consumption is so low that this is like nothing for let's say, for the water supplier. But those are a couple of points you can obviously use to convince customers. And this is also what we tried in the presentation in the beginning, to what's the market, what are the customer pain points. I have two other things I want to mention this round. This is also important for the training you're going to give to the distribution partners. So one aspect is we are currently still working on getting a hygiene conformity for the AquaGuard. So the only problematic component right now is the conductivity probe, because the conductivity probe has a shaft which is made of plastic. It's PEEK, it's high quality, but it's not drinking water certified. To get any drinking water certification, what you need to have first is a hygiene conformity, meaning they check the plastic for biological growth in water, but also for changes in taste or odor or anything like that. So Chris, for example, it's what we are doing right now with the epoxy resin in the UK. It's actually the same, the same procedure. And so this is the base to get any drinking water certification in basically any country. So we're currently working on that, but this is harder than expected. So in the meantime, what you can use as an argument, and this is a quite valid argument, is that all the probes from Hamilton, I mean, the AquaScat S is not an issue, because this has drinking water certifications here in Switzerland, in France, and you can use those arguments. The whole, let's say, outside of the AquaGuard is made of stainless steel, which is compatible with drinking water, and the cable is also drinking water compatible. All the O-rings which could be in contact with the water, they have drinking water certifications. What you can use in the meantime is the argument of the probes. So those probes, they have FDA approvals, they have all these pharmaceutical grade approvals, which mean they are high quality and that they are not a risk for drinking water in general. Some Brunnenmeister will accept it and some not, but in the meantime, until we really get this hygiene requirement, this is the only thing we can really use as an argument. So this is important that you train our distribution partners. I know we get a lot. I know, for example, Ralph, in your region, Gertian is one of those people who always complains about the Hamilton probes. But they do have the necessary requirements or high quality requirements to use in food, beverage, and pharmaceutical science. So they are good for drinking water use. So this is one argument you can use. And we also have all this what's it called? The material certifications that are all available either on Hamilton website or we have it on our also drive. So you can ask me if you want for them. Well, and I can also help you out with what is a USP 88 Class 6 and what is an FDA requirement for O-rings or shafts. So I can give you some insights if you want.
But if Gertian complains, he usually he never complains about the quality of a probe.
No, it's the price, I know.
He just complains about the price. And this is also something important what we have to keep in mind. Yes, Hamilton probes are more expensive, but they are really more precise. And yes. It's not just, I don't care if it shows me 6.2 or 6.5 pH. It is really important. And we have to believe that this is important and just forget about the price and be really, we have to believe that this is really precise. And if it is precise, this is important for water quality, for water treatment, to bring the customer away from the price topic. Especially with conductivity, this probe can be very old in the end. pH is a bit difficult, 1 year, 2 years, that's it, okay. But even then, if you don't touch it, it lasts much longer, and it's more precise, definitely.
And maybe this is a very important aspect for every one of you. I mean, if we look at all the 4 probes, as Ralph said, the conductivity has no consumables, so you can. It's 4 platinum electrodes, and this peak shaft doesn't consume any electrolyte or anything, so in principle it can last a very long time. If you look at the pH and the redox, the main strength of the Hamilton probes, let's say besides of the whole digital head and all this stuff, is that you have a solid state electrolyte in it. So meaning that this electrolyte doesn't flow out so easily as if you use a normal shell electrolyte. And this is something, if you use a shell electrolyte in drinking water, this will run out in a couple of weeks, typically, just because of the osmosis. And this is not an issue for Hamilton. Obviously, it will also happen, but much slower. And this is something, if you have to replace the sensor, let's say, all 18 months or all 6 months, this makes a difference for me, let's say, in operational cost. And this is something you can really sell to the customer. Plus, what Ralph said, the precision. I mean, especially at let's say, the exit of a waterworks, if you need to do a pH correction, it matters if it's 6.5 or 6.8 or 7.2. This is really important.
And this is not a linear correlation. So the pH of 7 is double from 6. So keep it in mind. Little difference in the value is a very big difference in the concentration of the of the ions. Yeah. I'm not sure if everybody knows this from the sales team. Yeah.
Maybe in this round, what I'm planning at some point, I know I need to check when, it's maybe to give you salespeople a specific training in maybe these Hamilton sensors, just because from my background, because I come from this pH world, it's maybe I have a bit more insights than other people. And this is why I maybe also, whenever people complain about prices, let's say for the pH probe, I can tell you it's the same price as other competitors like Mettler or Anderson Hauser have for their digital probes. So this is a very common market price. Let's say what we buy the Hamilton probes for. Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, I don't think that there are more questions. Florian?
I do, sorry. Yes, thank you. Question, Jorge, you mentioned training. If we are giving trainings to the distribution partner, is there or could we plan a general training besides the webinar for this AquaGuard?
I don't think it was done like that in the past in general, and my opinion, I wouldn't do it. I would leave this to the ESMs because every ESM has very different distribution partners. And for example, I know with the Turbiscat 2X, I think Felix did it bilateral with his partners because he knows their applications better. And I think Ralph, you tend to group everyone in one pot and do it like that. So I would leave this up to the sales managers, how they want to handle their partners. I don't really want to interfere there. I can provide you with more information or some support if you need, but I wouldn't want to do the training just because it's very different. It's also, I think, and this may be for the ESMs to correct me or not, but the partners have, let's say, the connection to you. And this is quite important, I think, such a training.
I would agree, because if we do it, if we get a nice frame for the training from you, from college or from product management, we can use this framework. We can maybe modify it slightly. For me, it's important to do it. For me, it's important to prove that we did it in a list or whatever, how we do it, doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter. Every ESM has to do it and has to document it when that it did it. With the Turbiscat X, Silke tried the same. Well, I'm not sure if it worked completely. I did always what Silke told me. I have to be honest. But in the end, we have to do it. That's important. And if I send it from my email to my partner, he will. The acceptance is usually higher than sending it just from info @ or sales @ or college @ whatever. So this would be my way to do it. And I usually try to combine some partners because they are always happy when they can be together and influence themselves together. Yeah, so I agree. The ESM should do it with a personal touch. Yeah.
Agree to a certain level. Sorry, quickly, Christian. Agree to a certain level because I mean, in general, the knowledge of how do I say that? Agree to a certain level that the training must be from the ISM because he's the contact point for the distribution partner. As soon as it gets more technical, the ISM doesn't or also doesn't need to know so much technical details about these instruments, and that's why for the very technical usage of the product, it could be helpful to offer a technical training for this for new products in general.
But
this is a different thing, actually.
It's two things. One is a service training, which is provided by Silke, Martin, Reto's team, where they basically give a training to the service people who they explain this is how you open the AquaGuard, this is how the cabling is attached, this is how you need to do it in the Seacon to reprogram it. The ESMs will never go down into this depth.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is a service training. We offer that already, but this is a different type of training.
Yep, correct.
Okay, I think that these are the next steps. Then you are going to explain how we are going to continue after this training. But first, now we have to train the ESMs Then next step is we are going to announce it to all the distributors. And then you can do a second round with your dedicated distributors. And then after that, we can start with the service trainings. But it doesn't make sense now to start with the service trainings without having any device out in the field. So it's doesn't help, because until they have the first service intervention, they have forgotten everything.
No, that was my question. What is planned, or can we plan anything? Or that's perfect if there is a plan.
Talking about the frame for trainings, for product trainings, I tried to download the presentation from the training. Obviously, I wasn't able to manage that. I guess that's on purpose. But will the slides be available then? First for the internal training, and the second, as Yvonne will be on a fair next week. That's the reason why she's participating today. She should also have the possibility to watch the slides, as she was not included, of course, in the college session.
Okay, I know that on the Sigrist College, I don't think that it's possible to download the files because it's on the platform itself. But I think should be possible, like Teams, that you have access to the presentation. Jorge, what do you think?
You sent a PDF, Jorge, didn't you? Earlier.
I sent to all the sales team. I send you guys an email with the link, so you should be able to download the presentation. Just forward that one to Yvonne, and if not, just contact me again, and I'll send it to her.
I didn't have that in mind anymore. Sorry for that. Thank you.
Aye. I send you was an extensive email with roadmap and what the next steps, and then I think there was the link. And I mean, I saw Chris's icon before, so he was in the presentation.
So if there are no technical questions or sales questions anymore, I would like to show you the next steps on the Sigrist College. I hope you can see again the Sigrist College platform and no black. So the next step will be here, your next steps in selling the AquaGuard. And here I made some descriptions, what I would like to have from you, and I will collect your feedback and give them to Florian. You have different possibilities. You can add a text, you can upload a file, you can record a video if you like, or an audio, or record a screen. I think the easiest way, you start with a text or a file, whatever you like. And the last point, this is more relating to the Sigrist College. We would like to get your feedback. So what do you think about the platform? Was it easy for you, or did you face any problems? So it would be great if you could give us here some information and your feedback.
I think it's a great idea. I think it was easy to use.
Okay.
And I think it's something that, I just think it's a really great idea that we can use ourselves, our staff, and our distributors. When I worked with Spirax Sarco, they had a similar platform, or a platform for college, and it was something that was, it was a really great tool that we talked to distributors about to use to get them to, to help them with selling the products, to understand the products. And certainly, I think for us, as some new members to the team, I just think to be able to go into that and go through these kind of things is, I think it's a really great idea.
Okay. Thank you, Chris. Ralf?
I also think that this is a really great idea to have such a platform. The only thing what I have at the moment in general is if I want to go back to this college platform, because maybe I can find some downloads, some presentations there. I always try to find a mail with a link to this college, because now we have so many SharePoint Teams, different types of links, different places where we can find information. And sometimes it's really hard to find the place where it is. If you find it, excellent. But it's not just on the Dateiablage or intranet or extranet. No, we have Teams, we have SharePoint, we have so many different places at the moment. It's sometimes a little bit. It's easy to get lost somewhere.
I can understand.
Sorry, I have the same feedback as Ralph. This was my only downside. I'm like, oh, I had to go through my emails and check where is this link, and maybe on the intranet link would help, something like this.
Yes. When we invite you for this training, the platform was not ready. So it will be easier because we implemented the single sign-on, and soon we will send you a link that it's easier for you to have access to the Sigrist College. But I thought it will be better after this training. Otherwise, you have two links. One will work and the other one will not work. So I decided to wait a little bit. But it should be easier in future. That's correct. And I made, I saved it as a favorite so that I have really soon access to the Sigrist College because I need it every day now.
Exactly what I did as well. Put a bookmark on it. Great.
Yep. But I will send you some informations, but I will wait 1 week. So it would be great if you can give me your feedback and also your next steps in selling until next Friday. That would be great. And afterwards, I will send you an email with a new login point. So any other comments, inputs?
I just have a brief one. While you were doing this, I added to the slide what Ralph just mentioned before. So without this assembling device, I think with this, we have in the product presentation this whole calibration thing, and it's clear that we don't have to disassemble the device. I hope this is enough for the presentation.
No.
But because it was really missing, it was a good point. So just as a little side note.
Maybe a video later on, but for a first presentation is okay.
Yeah. Video I will check with the Kundendienst how we do that.
So you get a screen that you showed before with a feedback page and so on. How do we get there? Because when I'm in the AquaGuard session itself or on the starting side, I mean, I guess yours will look different as you're the organizer.
Now you should see it. If you enter again this training, you should see the next points, the next steps. Maybe you could check this if it's correct.
At the moment, it's dies ist eine vom Lehrer geleitete Veranstaltung and so on. So it's not the next step. But if it will appear afterwards, then it's fine. I was just thinking.
Yep. Because I dated it until this live Q&A, that you don't see the next steps before.
That's, by the way, my feedback. It's a good thing that you have your current step in front of you on the screen and not you have to see what did you do, what didn't you do. And on the other hand, it's motivating to not be the one being on the 0% of the trainings. And it's a good overview. So my feedback is very similar to Ralph and also Jorge for sure. Then that's a good platform as it's kind of intuitive and you don't have any misunderstandings if you just go through it. On the other hand, it's I'm happy when it's not another parallel system, but it will be integrated then in the whole thing.
Thank you.
You?
In general, I have a question. Actually, in general regarding the Sigrist College platform, as Silke said, this will be our future platform to transfer the knowledge from different sources. one source or one way can be sales training, service trainings, but also Sigrist internal for all the employees, so they will be connected. Then all the distribution partners will be connected in the future. So it's really our platform for this topic. And you are the guinea pigs. So we tested with you now how it's going to work. We also learn. I'm curious, out of our perspective, it took very, very long until you registered, until you first started the training. I don't know if in the meantime everybody finished the testing, Silke, I don't know. Maybe another feedback from my side, was it too complicated? Why did it took so long? Was it because of other things to do? We really had also to send several emails asking you, please start the training. Out of our perspective, it was not very smooth. Maybe I'm interested on the feedback, if it is too complicated, or why did it take so long until you started the training and finished the testing?
There is always something which is more important when doing something internal. For this reason, I always would recommend to place a very, very short deadline. Because if you say, okay, we need it in 2 weeks, that means I will start 2 weeks minus 1 day. But if I have to deliver it on Monday, I will do it today. So this is my personal experience. Keep it tough, keep it short. If it takes too long, some will forget it or will do it at the latest possible moment. I know it from myself. Yeah.
I may disagree with Ralph in this case. I would prefer to have longer time. And the one talking is probably the first one who feel the system, right, Silke?
Yes.
Because I prefer to have the time where I program myself and then I fit well into my agenda. But of course, there are different point of view to it. So I just want to express my idea is better when you give us time and then I can really adjust better. Because if not, it will happen that I had other things adjusted that maybe I cannot change. And I will just tell you, it's just impossible. Okay.
Yes.
I agree and disagree with Ralph. Agree on the part that yes, as bad as it sounds, it's always like in the daily business there are always more priority things than internal trainings. It's sorry to say that, but it is like that. But and that we discussed internally in the sales team already. We need to be better with this. We need to get better in giving you feedback because that's very important, obviously. And we really need to address ourselves and get better. Even though if we are afterwards launching it to our partners, we need to be the ones who are also behind our partners to do these trainings and to complete it, because that's what we expect from them. We expect from them that they do these trainings and they have the knowledge of the product to be in the best way possible able to sell the product into the markets. And I disagree with Ralph on the point, as Jose said. It's better to have more time, but we need to be more disciplined. That's for sure. Yeah.
Maybe one point which would be maybe suitable for everybody. For me, it was quite nice during the last week. Somebody sent an email. When do we get to the Q&A session? We are waiting for it. Yeah, we are getting there when everybody did it. So this was quite helpful for me. And the salesperson usually wants the presentation to present it to the customer or to the partner. So if we get the information, you will only get this presentation after you did it and everybody knows it. It will be very helpful. I want it, I need it, but I have to do something. And this is very helpful to motivate myself to do it, because in the end, I would like to get a nice presentation which I can use. But okay, I have to answer some things before. So this would be maybe for everybody an agreement which is helpful. Yeah, you get the fruit after you paid for it.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, I think we have to learn with it.
Mhm.
We
Right.
have to live with it. We
Mhm.
have to improve everything. It was for Silke and Martin the first time, but it was also for you as salespeople the first time using the system. Yes, of course. For me, it was more important to understand if there have been some technical issues so that you haven't been able to log into the system or something like that. Or was it more than just priority things and maybe what's that? That's new. That's strange. So don't put it, or I do not take it to the first priority. That's what I understand. But I learn out of it. Technical wise, it works. Technical wise, we are on the right way. We have to improve the process a little bit and also our daily working process, maybe.
But I also want to underline what my colleagues
I think having
already
done
said.
it. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I think having done it is a real. I can see the benefit.
Mhm.
I think it's the first one we've done, and then having done it now, I see the real benefit in. For yeah, I can. That will benefit me, you know. So to me, that was an important point.
I want to underline that because as like for internal 100%, but even more for me externally, if we are getting to our partners and roll this out and ask our partners to do this college trainings and have a test afterwards, that's a very valuable tool for them to learn about our products, and I'm really excited about the rollout of this, and I think that has a great potential in the future. So at this point, many thanks to Silke and Jorge and everybody who worked within this. It's for us in sales, it's definitely a great tool to hand also to offer our partners.
Thank
And
you.
on the same time, I want to underline it that the feedback is important. So to our sales team, take that serious, because we have to, if I can say so, we have to form these trainings as we think it's best fitting for our partners. So in whatever you would suggest to change, or whatever you think could be optimized, bring it in, then we can discuss it, or Silke can see if it's applicable, and then we can, according to this feedback, form it and make it in the best way for our partners to profit from it.
Correct.
Sorry, I have a question also now, because I have connected to this video conference using the link that I received in my calendar. And now
Yes.
I'm also inside the Sigrist College platform, and I see that when I go to conference, I have here like join. So should I
Yes.
join using the link? Should I join using that? Is
Yes.
irrelevant?
In future.
Okay.
We had to test it, and yesterday afternoon we found out that about 2 to 5 minutes before you have the button available join, but we didn't know that before. So that you are able to join this live Q&A, I thought it's better to invite you separately. In future it should be work. Yes.
Okay, so in the future we will use the platform 100%, and also for the feedback, I still don't see this. When will be this available, more or less, Silke?
It should be available soon.
Okay, but we don't have no way. Okay.
If not, please let me know. Then maybe I have to change something.
Okay. Okay.
I think, Silke, you have to approve that we
Yep.
have been attending this meeting, and then we will automatically get access to the next step.
Yes. Right.
If we would connect via this direct link in the platform, then it would work automatically. That's what I understood. And if because we had to do it different, this works not automatically. So that's something we now have to learn and experience.
Right.
Okay, perfect.
Good. So thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
But main topic is the AquaGuard, not the LMS of today. So work on both.
Yes. And then looking forward for your next steps. If I get a video or a file or an audio or whatever, and looking forward for your feedback. Thank you very
Good.
much. Thank you, Jorge, for explaining.
You're welcome.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
have a nice morning,
day.
guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Have a
Thank you
nice
very much.
Bye.
weekend.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye.
Happy weekend. Bye bye.